Smells like a charcoal grill outside, and not in a good way. There are wildfires raging across the American West. As of right now, something like 50,000 residents from the Spokane, Washington area have had to be evacuated.
It's coming in so many different directions. We don't know how it started. No one's telling us shit. This is so bad. This is blocks and blocks. And the old folks home is down there. And the veterans hospital is down there. They're gonna need to evacuate our veterans first. And then the elderly. Oh, Jesus Christ. Start moving to the side. Start moving to the side. Start moving to the side. Oh, shit. Ah! Oh, my God. The old folks' home is way down there. They're gonna need to they're gonna go evacuate them first. This is so not cool. Fuck this. This man doesn't even work for the city. He is just a citizen, just doing awesome shit, okay? Fuck you, I love you, man. Anyways, I need to go keep alerting my neighbors to turn on their sprinklers. I'll be back.
Everyone's evacuating from 9 Mile Falls and Airway Heights. Oh my god. Francis is wall-to-wall cars now. Oh my god.
Because of at least two major fires there. There are fires in California, Colorado, Oregon, across Washington, and I'm sure elsewhere. It's not a good scene. There's no longer wildfire season. It's just wildfires can occur at any time, but it happens that they are worse during the dry months of late summer, July, August, September, and into October. Lightning strikes, human-caused fires, the consequence of people building out into areas that have always been fire prone, because lightning strikes and natural fires are really, really important, right? Lots of species have evolved to need fire, especially in the West. And also indigenous people have used fire as a way to increase biodiversity and manage landscapes for millennia. But what we have right now is a very difficult and dangerous combination of climate change, drought-like conditions for years on end, and then people living in areas where it's much more difficult to get them evacuated and where fires are more naturally prone to occur. And so you have greater risk to human life, you have greater risk that property will be destroyed. And even if you were to be able to exclude, right, there have been, thank God, so far, no deaths in Spokane from the fires there. But if you were able to somehow exclude and protect all of the property and all of the life, there are still the consequences, right? Set aside the flames themselves, there's still the air quality consequences, which can be dire. I think everybody in the Portland metro area and much of Oregon has like collective PTSD from multiple years in a row. 2020, 2021, 2022, where we had unbelievably bad air quality. We had the worst air quality ever recorded at one point in time. It was something like 554. It was air quality where we were hearing from public health officials like, we don't know. We have no idea what the long-term consequences are to your health for being out in air quality that bad for any length of time. And it was back then that my husband looked up how to put together what's called a Corsi-Rosenthal box. I think, Corsi-Rosenthal boxes were invented to scrub virus particles out of the air, if I remember this correctly. And they were found to be more effective than any of the other expensive, purchased indoor HEPA air filter, etc., that people were putting in their businesses for COVID. A Corsi-Rosenthal box is a homemade contraption that you can make for about $32 that not only can reduce the virus load in the air, but it is extremely effective at scrubbing out smoke and PM 2.5 particulate matter from the air. And so when we have had bad air quality days, which we are having right now, I can feel it, like my eyes are burning, the inside of my nose is burning. It's getting worse the longer I'm outside. Well, I'm in my garden studio, but the French doors are open, right? The air quality is getting worse and worse, and it will continue to get worse over the next few days. Luckily, it's not like 500, 400, but I think it's supposed to be close to 200 within a day or two. You shouldn't be breathing that, particularly if you are a child, particularly if you are pregnant. There was some reporting that came out just this past week about how bad air quality from wildfires is now the number one risk to American women in pregnancy. It's a real significant issue. Having that constant inhalation of PM 2.5 particulate matter increases the risk of cardiovascular problems for even a robust and healthy person. Breathing in this shit is not good for you. For the elderly, for asthmatics, for children, for pregnant people, it's particularly bad. We don't know the long-term consequences of prolonged exposure. And we are running an experiment in the American West where millions and millions of people are being exposed to poor air quality from wildfires, from not just burning trees, but also burning structures, with all of the plastics and other man-made materials that should not be inhaled when they combust, right? All of that is getting poured into our lungs year in and year out. So Casey made a Corsi-Rosenthal box for us in our house, and then he has one in his classroom at his school that he runs because as a special education teacher, his students are a vulnerable population, both when it comes to viruses like COVID, but also when it comes to risks to their airways from smoke from wildfires. So he's got one running in his classroom, and I asked him to come and help us put together one on camera so you could see how to make a Corsi-Rosenthal box and filter the air. Again, they cost about $32. If you need to buy a new box fan, it's about $12 at your big box store, between $12 and $20. And if you need to purchase a set of 4 square air filters, 20 by 20 square air filters, 4 of them, it is about $12. Okay, so in total, you will need a box fan, you will need duct tape, you will need a piece of cardboard 20 by 20 inches, and you will need 4 air filters, also 20 by 20 inches. Get the cheapest ones you can get. The really nice ones that we used during COVID are now $29 each. The cost of air filters has gone through the roof. So just get the cheap ones, because this is going to catch all of that smoke and all of that particulate matter, and you're going to throw them away at the end. So we're going to put one together. My goal is to be able to continue to work in my studio as the air quality gets worse and worse over the next couple of days, and have the Corsi-Rosenthal box hopefully filter the air and make sure that my lungs are protected a little bit more than they are now. So let me show you, let Casey show you how to put one together.
Okay, so things you'll need for a Corsi-Rosenthal box. First, you'll need 4 20 by 20 by 1 inch air filters. Whatever brand you want, preferred, can find, is fine. This is what our local hardware store, so this is what I'm using. Mm-hmm. By the way, air filters have gone way up in price in the past year.
Everything has gone way up in price.
You will also need duct tape. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter the brand, it can be generic, name brand, whatever. You'll need a piece of cardboard that is at least 20 by 20. I go a little over, so I have some actual edges to tape to.
So can I, really quickly, if you are purchasing a new box fan for this, save the box from it. Because when we made a Corsi-Rosenthal box during COVID, and also during wildfires, we used the cardboard from the box. Mm-hmm. It fits perfectly, obviously.
And the one I made for my school, which I'm reusing the fan from that one, did the same thing. But when I took it apart, because I had to break down my classroom at the end of the year, the cardboard didn't really survive very well and was getting kind of gross. So I figured we'll just use something from, Costco.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, so you need to tape these together to make the basic frame of it. Mm-hmm. The idea is the fan blows out, which means it sucks in from the back, which means it sucks air from all over the room.
Mm-hmm. The air and all the particulate matter from the room or from the window, what have you. So the goal here is that you are capturing particulate matter from the room and you are pulling it through the fan, and it is getting caught in the filters and therefore scrubbing the air.
Much like
in
the
room.
filter in a home air conditioning system does, yes.
Yes.
So first thing I'm doing is I'm going to tape 2 of these together. I'm taping along the wide edge here so I can fold them out so they become a box. Okay. Doesn't matter which way the air is going through them, really. They have arrows of which way to put them into the furnace, but that's for if you have a furnace where it's blowing air through in certain ways. Mm-hmm. For this purpose, doesn't matter. Air coming or going won't matter. Mm-hmm.
So you're making a little tape hinge.
Yes, but you want to make sure you tape the entire hinge so that it doesn't have air drawn in that isn't getting filtered if possible. So I don't want to leave a gap up here.
So Corsi-Rosenthal boxes were invented during COVID or for COVID, right? And they were considered the most effective air scrubber for viruses, but they also work incredibly well for filtering out smoke and particulate matter from fires. And you'll notice if you have bad air quality, we had a couple of years ago. So I'm trying to get in the frame. We had air quality that was in the 500s from fires in the West. And you can see very quickly that even if you plug around the windows, right, like public health officials were encouraging folks to plug around the door frames and windows to make sure that none of that air quality, which we don't have really good data on how negatively impactful it is to you to be exposed to that for prolonged periods, so that didn't get into your house. But even so, it would still come into the house. And so setting up air filters and setting up a Corsi-Rosenthal, you could see how very quickly these would get gray and nasty because they do a super effective job of filtering out the air.
Even on a normal year where we don't have some sort of major fire event going, these filters only last at most about a year doing this. From experience, it lasts about 9 months in my classroom before the filters need to be changed out. So a whole school year out of it, which is kind of nice because I don't have extra money at school. But
what? They're not funding education well in the state of Oregon? What?
I know, shocked. Now you want to make sure you position the fan so that its intake side is inside and its outtake side is outside.
That makes sense.
So like I'm going to put the fan, unfortunately with this design, with the way I'm building it this time, the cord is going to have to go through one of these holes in the bottom. Mm-hmm. Because I'm positioning it so that we can direct the air. For the one I put in my classroom, which was this one originally, I had the fan facing upwards, and then I built a little hood on top out of a paper ream box. But that's more because I'm trying to distribute the air throughout the whole classroom, because it also helps cool the room, because believe it or not, also in old school rooms, you don't always have the best circulation, nor do you have the best cooling systems. So
this is the intake side, and then that is the way that the air comes out, because you're wanting to pull the air through all of these filters before it goes into the fan.
So I'm just going to anchor it in place with tape on the corners, and then I'm going to go through and tape afterwards.
Do you want to hand me a piece too? And I'll do this side.
Come on. And then we have to go through afterwards and fill a lot of gaps with tape or with cardboard or both. Because, and you also want to cover the top. All right, then just taping all the edges. Actually, I need to pull this back for a moment because we need to tape the bottom a little. We're also going to tape the fan to the box, to the cardboard as well. Should be noted, the bottom cardboard doesn't have to be perfect because that's just sitting on the ground. Like, you don't have to make a perfect seal. This is not a perfect seal in any way, shape, or form. but you want the bottom there so that you can move it around if you need to. I've tried this without having a bottom to it, and there's no structure to it, and it just kind of collapses whenever you move it.
It gives it
Can you
rigidity.
push this bottom up against the fan as best you can? Gives it rigidity, gives it a little, and it lasts a little better, yes. Again, the goal is to make this structure last about a year. All right?
You can really, sorry to put my microphone down, you can really smell the wildfire smoke.
Yep.
It is getting stronger throughout the day.
Now, if I were being a little more ambitious, I would build a wooden frame and then just slot these in every year. And I'll probably do that at some point.
Because wildfires are not going away.
Yeah.
Wildfire season is all the time now.
Yeah. Okay. Now we... You will want to position it so it's not right up against a wall, so that it's drawing air from all sides. Don't put things on top of it because there's no real structure here. Yeah, again, if you have the fan going up instead of out, then you can build a little hood on top to position the air. But this way, we just turn it on, doing the lowest setting right now, and it draws air through. It's just a box fan, but it's drawing air through the filters.
Thanks, Casey. Thanks for taking care of my lungs.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Love you. I'm going to get on live. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, I hope that was helpful. I really encourage you, if you live in the American West and you are going to be exposed to this smoke, it's going to get worse between now and when the rains come back. Make yourself a Corsi-Rosenthal box. Limit your outdoor exposure. Protect your lungs. Protect your health. Also, make an escape plan. If you live in a fire-prone area, make a plan for yourself, for your livestock, for your pets. Make sure that you have that set up with your family. You have a rendezvous point. You have your bug-out bags, and you're ready to deal with what may come. I don't think that this is going to nobody thinks that this is going to get better. The Trump regime has cut funding and jobs for our wildfire firefighters. We are seeing that they are trying not to give FEMA aid to Democratic states. Western states, Democratic states. Western states will need wildfire relief, and they're trying to withhold FEMA funds from our states because our governors and attorneys general and secretaries of state are not willing to bend the knee. So the consequences, the risks to all of us are exacerbated by the federal government, by the Trump regime. And we just have to be aware that it's not going to be the government that protects us. Who keeps us safe? We keep us safe. If you have elderly neighbors, if you have folks with disabilities in your neighborhood, consider making them a Corsi-Rosenthal box. Consider reaching out to them and crafting an escape plan for them, making a bug out bag for them. We got to take care of each other right now. I think that when we look at these natural disasters, when we look at these occurrences becoming more frequent, wildfires becoming more frequent, this is a devastating reality, but it's also an opportunity for us to cultivate community interdependence, to learn how to take care of each other, to learn how to look out for each other, because we will be more resilient and we will be safer as a result. So thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to click like and subscribe. Stay safe, protect your lungs, protect your health, and I'll be back.